Denny Hamlin just shook NASCAR to its core, and it had nothing to do with a crash, a bad restart, or a pit road disaster. This time, he exposed something much bigger, something that challenges the very foundation of how NASCAR operates and who truly benefits from it. Let's strip it down to the basics. Teams shoulder the costs. Drivers take the risks. But NASCAR controls the money, the rules, and the doors to opportunity. According to Hamlin, the people who make the sport run are trapped inside a system that was never built to help them win off the track. And now, the entire garage is on edge. Hamlin didn't hint. He didn't sugarcoat. As a driver, a team owner, and someone with nothing left to lose by staying quiet, he said what most only whisper behind haulers. The system is broken. It starts with the next-gen car and the wave of standardized parts introduced in 2022. The promise was simple: lower costs, closer competition, a level playing field. The reality? A grid full of identical cars. Same look, same feel, same limits. Creativity has been replaced by conformity. Engineering advantages are gone. Driver preference barely matters. What used to be an art has become assembly. The result? Racing that feels flat. Passing is tougher. Short tracks have lost their bite. As Hamlin put it, individuality has almost disappeared, and with it, much of what made NASCAR compelling. But that was only the opening act. What really turned heads was Hamlin's blunt breakdown of sponsorship restrictions and how NASCAR actively prevents teams from making money. Here's how it works. When NASCAR signs an official partner in a category, tires, fuel, parts, that category is completely off limits to teams. No exceptions, no negotiations. Hamlin laid it out plainly. His team spends around $700,000 a year on tires alone. They pay for them. They don't get them free. And yet, they're barred from seeking a tire sponsor to help cover that cost because NASCAR already sold that category. Think about that. Teams absorb massive expenses, but NASCAR controls the sponsorship rights. The league gets the big checks. Teams get the invoices. This isn't a minor inconvenience. It's a financial chokehold. Tires and fuel aren't optional. They're the lifeblood of racing. Blocking teams from monetizing those categories means NASCAR collects the rewards while teams are stuck footing the bill. And the damage goes far beyond money. It strikes at the heart of racing itself. Innovation. With everything spec'd, approved, and vendor-locked, teams can't experiment. Engineers can't push boundaries. Drivers can't fine-tune cars to match their style. Mechanics can't problem-solve on the fly. When something fails, teams don't fix it, they wait. That waiting nearly had serious consequences. Early versions of the next-gen chassis were dangerously stiff, failing to absorb impacts properly. Drivers suffered concussions and injuries from crashes that shouldn't have been that severe, but teams had no authority to modify the car. Safety fixes were out of their hands. When lives are involved, that kind of delay is unacceptable. The same issue shows up with tires. NASCAR offers a single tire option, no compounds, no alternatives, no feedback flexibility. Drivers say the low-profile design provides almost no feel. They're guessing at grip, wear, and limits in a sport where milliseconds matter. That's not just frustrating, it's risky, and Hamlin has finally had enough. As both a driver and the co-owner of 23XI Racing, alongside Michael Jordan, he sees the full picture. The budgets, the bottlenecks, the growing frustration across the garage, and his message couldn't be clearer. This system isn't preserving the sport, it's draining it. But this isn't just a rant. It's a warning. NASCAR controls the cars, the parts, the suppliers, and the revenue streams. Teams spend millions to compete, yet they see none of the biggest payouts. TV money goes to NASCAR. Official sponsorships go to NASCAR. Teams fight over what's left while being restricted from entire sponsorship categories. If NASCAR signs a deal with Sunoco, teams can't accept money from Shell, BP, or anyone else, even if the offer is better. Imagine running a business where someone else dictates your suppliers, limits your income, controls your costs, and still demands results. That's the reality Hamlin described. And he's not alone. Behind closed doors, team owners are furious. Some call it financial handcuffs. Others believe it's skating dangerously close to antitrust territory. Legal discussions are already happening, and for good reason. No other major sport operates like this. NASCAR has built a closed loop. Teams assume the risk. NASCAR collects the reward. And it's starting to show. The racing feels predictable. The cars feel cloned. Innovation is gone. Fans have noticed. Attendance has slipped. Ratings aren't what they once were. And now, the loudest voices in the sport are speaking up. Hamlin's was the thunderclap, but more are coming. Even manufacturers are uneasy. Chevrolet, Ford, and Toyota invest millions to showcase brand identity and innovation. But when every car looks the same and advantages are erased, the value proposition disappears. Hamlin posed the uncomfortable question: if fans can't tell the difference between brands on track, how long before manufacturers stop caring? That's not hypothetical. If automakers walk away, NASCAR faces a full-blown crisis. Hamlin lives this reality every day, balancing budgets while spending $750,000 on tires and being forbidden from finding a sponsor to offset the cost. And it's not just small teams feeling the pressure. Even powerhouse organizations like Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske are quietly raising red flags. So what happens next? NASCAR appears to be listening, at least a little. Officials are talking about more horsepower, relaxed setup rules, and possibly re-examining the vendor model. But talk is cheap, and the garage has heard promises before. NASCAR now stands at a fork in the road. One path keeps the tight control, spec parts, block sponsors, and shrinking identity. The other is harder but necessary. It means trusting teams, sharing power, restoring creativity, and giving the sport its soul back. Because while the current model may save money, it's costing NASCAR what made it special: innovation, personality, and edge. That's what Hamlin is fighting for, not just his team, but the future of NASCAR itself. So what do you think? Is Hamlin right to call it out? Should teams control their own sponsorships? Is the spec parts era saving the sport or slowly killing it? Sound off below. Because this debate isn't ending anytime soon, it's only just begun.